All right, welcome everybody to Advent of Code Day 1. I tend to do these videos for my students occasionally. I don't know if I'll do all of them, but it's the Advent of Code, if you don't know what it is, it's a annual tradition. It's a programming challenge, programming competition. It's not really a competition anymore. And what I like to do is just solve the problems myself so that you can kind of see how I approach a problem. Um, I have no idea what is in the Advent of Code this year. I haven't looked at any spoilers. The only thing that I have done to prep for this is I've read over the day one instruction and downloaded the input.txt file onto my server. And so I'm just going to solve it live, and you guys can see me succeed or fail, depending on how this goes. So the first day doesn't look too bad, at least the first half. There's two halves, and I have no idea what's in the second half. What you have is you have a safe that begins pointing at the number 50. It's got 100 numbers on it from 0 to 99. And you're going to read in a series of moves, turn left 68, turn right 20, this kind of stuff. And every time you hit exactly 0, you are going to increment a counter by 1. And then you're going to report how many times the dial was exactly 0. So, for example, in this series here, in the little input file here, we see that it hit 0 3 times. So the answer would be 3. And then for the actual thing, there's all these moves, some of which are quite big, like 900, 988. So I want to handle that a little bit. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's see how this goes. The input is just a letter, L or R, followed by a number, and you just, go to the end of the file. So let's begin. main.cc, start off with my usual stuff. I don't think we'll need any of this. But, okay, so I'm going to begin by opening up the file input.txt from my local directory. And then I'm going to do a standard, while loop to read it. People read from the file in different ways, but this is the way I do it. And usually when I read from a file, I'm going to read into a string, and then I parse the string, and that makes life simpler for me. All of these entries are on their own line, so I'm going to use the read line command. It's similar to getLine. If you aren't familiar with read line, it's part of my read library. It's like getLine. So I'm going to say string stir equal to read line from the file. And so that reads one line from the file, puts it into the string. I like functions that return things rather than getLine. I just like the syntax better. And it does some error handling and things like that. It's a little bit nicer. So then we check to see, have we hit the end of the file? If we have, we break. And then we're going to be counting how many times we hit 0. So I'm going to make a variable for that because we have to keep track of it. Every time you have something to keep track of, that sounds like a variable to me. Yeah, so here we go. So we've read in a string. I guess I could string it. Yeah, let's do that. I put string stream ISS out of stir. So this allows me to parse the string. It's a little bit overkill. I could just do this by hand, but this is kind of a good habit to get into, and that's one of the reasons why I do these things, to kind of show you guys good habits. So I'm going to have a char named ch, and I'm going to initialize it to, I don't know, not L or R. Then I'm going to read, so I'm going to go from the ISS into ch, or I could use read. That also works. My read library would work just fine with that. So we're going to read one character out, and then we're going to have an int named x, which I hate. Let's call it moves. I don't know. Let's call this direction. How about that? Okay, give it a slightly better variable name. Okay, so we're going to read the direction left to right. Then we're going to read the number. And then I'm just going to print out dir and moves, because IO stuff, actually parsing input is usually the hardest thing in these kinds of programs. I'm just going to read it in. I'm actually going to copy the demo code here just to keep me from spamming myself. So I'm going to vim input 2.text. So I don't want to read thousands of lines of input. I'm just going to start with the simpler one. And this will also let me verify my code is correct. Because if I write my code correctly, then I'll get an answer of 3. Okay, left 68. Let's see here. Left 68, left 30, right 48, left 5, right 60. Everything looks good. And then you always want to check the last line because if you don't check for the end of the file in the right place, you can sometimes have a duplicate of the last line, or you get corrupted data there or something like that. So always check top one, left 68, left 68, bottom one, left 82, left 82. Looks good. Okay. So then I will switch it over to input, just input.text and run it again. And the very bottom one is R36. I'm going to flip to the bottom here. R36 it is. Top one is R20. So I'm going to pipe the output through less. And R20 is the top one. R20, R10, R11. R20, R10, 11. Go to the bottom. Left 22, left 34, left right 36. Okay, so our input's good. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of that. Cool. And then I'm going to switch the code back over to input 2 for now. And I can get rid of the couts as well. Hang on to it for now. Okay, so what I need to do now is the dial starts off int dial equals 50. Is I need to actually write the solution now. So I've got the input working. It's now time to actually solve the problem. Now, anytime you have a circle and things moving in a circle and wrapping around, that should scream to you modulus, the remainder operator, the unloved child of the 5 core mathematical operators that students are often like, when are we ever going to use this? We don't use long division anymore. When are we ever going to use modulus? And anytime you have a circle, when it goes from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock on a clock, you can do that with modulus. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do the safe mod and constant size equals 90. It's not exactly the size. The size is actually 100. Yeah. This will. Okay. So what we're gonna do is, so if we pass in like 500, we're gonna get 0 because the remainder is 0. But so you're like, well, why don't we just use modulus? Well, because modulus in C and C++ doesn't handle negative numbers properly. So we got to write around. So what we're gonna do is we are just gonna take the number, and if x is greater than if x is greater than or equal to 0, then we will return x modulus size. So if we pass in 500, we'll get 0. If we pass in 303, we'll get 3. Because if you move 300 to the right, you've stayed in the same place, right? And then if it's negative, while x is less than 0, this is a really bad code, but I was checking the numbers on there. None of them are that big, so we're not going to ever do this more than like 9 times, and our computers run billions of times a second. This is a really terrible thing, but there you go. And then return x. So what we're doing is so if we pass in -1, then what it's going to do is return 99, right? -1 plus 100 is 99. So if you're at 0 on the dial and you go left 1, you're now at 99. Okay. 99 plus 1 is 100. 100 modulus 100 is 0. We're now at 0. Okay. So this is an order n modulus operation, which I'm not proud of, but looking at the numbers, it's not ever going to do this more than a few times. So it's fine. Okay. So now we can do our thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our direction. So if direction equals left, then we are subtracting. Like if we move left 10, the number goes down by 10. I believe, let's see. So yeah, 82 left 30 is 52. So 82 minus 30. Cool. So then our dial is going to be minused by moves. Otherwise, dial is going to be increased by moves. And then we're just going to do safe mod and dial is equal to safe mod dial. So if it's it'll handle wrapping around very, very simply. Okay. Then let's just output this. We're basically done, but I like to demonstrate to my students that you should always take this step by step. Because I just wrote a function, I haven't tested the function yet. You know, I'm confident enough my code works, but you know, so always test your code. Go a little bit of time. Don't get ahead of yourself. So I'm just gonna double check our numbers here. Zoom in for you guys. I'm gonna double check our numbers here. Match what's in my code output. So dial is now set to 82. Dial set to 52. Dial set to 0, 95, 55, 0, 99, 0, 14, 32, and we're done. Cool. Okay, so neat. So that worked. But you know, even though I was confident it would work, you shouldn't be confident. Computer science programmers are the most optimistic creatures on the planet. I cannot tell you how many times students have failed because they're like, it should take me about a day to do this. They're so optimistic, and it takes them a week, you know, or whatever it is past the deadline. Don't be optimistic. Don't assume that your code's going to work right the first time. I've been coding for a long time, and I'm still, you know, as you can see, just taking it a little chunk at a time. 3 or 4 lines of code, test it, output the things, verify, you know, all that kind of stuff. I could have just leapt right to the solution, but this is good programming practice. Just do a little bit, build it up, build it up, build it up, like a pearl, like inside the piece of dirt inside of an oyster, and it builds up. Okay, so now all we have to do is check for when the dial hits 0, if dial is equal to 0. If I want to be fancy pants C++ person, I can say if not dial. That might confuse you if you're a Java person. So I'm just going to say if dial is 0, then our count is incremented. And then at the end of the program, we're just going to see out the count. And answer there. Count. See out twice. Amazing. All right, and that should be it. Okay. So here we go. Boom. Answer is 3. Cool. Let's just switch it over to the full input file. And here we go. Answer is 1135. Let's toss this into here and see if we got it right the first time. Hey, got a gold star. Neat. So 13 minutes, including intro and explanation. All right, you're sure that's the right password? The door won't open. You knock, nobody answers. You build a snowman. What do you think? I have not read this before, so maybe I should pause it and read it over. Okay, so for this one, it's exactly the same, except if it crosses over 0 at any point, then that counts as a point as well. You have to be careful that we don't double count. Like if it ends exactly at 0, that we don't double count it. The bad way of doing this would be to use a for loop and just for loop increment. Like it. So if you do 50 writes, just do the thing for loop 50 times, add 1. I don't think I want to do that. I'll feel vaguely guilty about this, but it's also 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know if my brain is going to handle the math side of this row. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to switch it back to the demo code. And here we go. And then over here. So it's pointing out it crossed it once. So it rotated. Dial starts at 50. So becomes exactly equal. Rotated 60. I think we could just. I think we can just. I think we can do this. Okay. I think we can do this analytically instead of just brute forcing it. So I'm gonna throw. It's terrible, but whatever. I'm gonna throw a count up into global space, and then if x is positive, then what we're going to do is, if it's over 100, we're going to add that to the count because that spins around the time. No, is that right? Yes. I think this is correct. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay, so count plus equals x divided by size. Okay, let's try that. And then for this one, every time we add 100, that's another spin. So count plus plus. And we might be double counting, so I don't know. Let's try this. See out, count. If it hits 100, if it's at 0, and we add 100, then it's going to count. And then it's going to count as 0 again. Yeah, we're going to be double counting. If we're at 0, going to 0. 1, 101, it won't. If we're at 50, yeah. So we need to maybe just not do this part. Let's find out. Okay. So the answer is 6 here. And the answer is 6. Okay. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's try this. $65.80. Not the right answer. Answer is too high. Okay.